Hey everybody, Scoutcrafty here again. It's Friday. TGIF, you made it through another week. Great week this was. If I look a little bit tired, it's because we had a lot going on this week. And as a matter of fact, we had the tool show this week, which was absolutely great. And I'll be talking about that on Monday. But for today's show, today I was hoping to have a little fun today because I know time's a little bit stressful, and I want to make this Friday episode a little bit more lighthearted and enjoyable. A couple things I want to talk about. First of all, did you know it was possible to spoil a cat from 1,500 miles away? And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, my good friend Dean Collins from the Route 66 Auto Museum in Oklahoma, he sent a bunch of these Temptations. If you have a cat, there's a treat that they eat called Temptations, and it is, forget it. It's like, for them, it's like their favorite thing ever. So Dean sent over a few packages of these Temptations treats, and all my cats are just, forget it. They're just spoiled now. I mean, they just absolutely love them. As you know, I have a quite an array of cats. I have 3 indoor cats and about 4 or 5 outside cats, but they come and go, and I don't know if you've seen them lately. Okay, in no particular order, we have Poops, then we have Kenji and Teddy, and then, of course, we have Pipes and Stripes, and then we have the mother, Mama, and Trixie, the trickster. So a very special thanks to my buddy Dean, who has spoiled my cats from 1,500 miles away. Pretty interesting. Another thing I want to talk about today is my good friend Joe. You know him as Trader Joe. Charlie's owner. Joe said, he says, you know what would be fun? He goes, maybe we could do like a little Where's Waldo? Kind of, with you put a little mascot around and see if people can find out or see him during the filming. And I said, that's a great idea. So let me show you what I came up with. And I guess this is what I figured we would use as our little mascot to hide around. The origins of this kind of game goes back to the UK, where it was called Where's Wally? And then later on, they brought it to the United States and they changed Wally to Waldo. And it's been changed all over in Europe. Someplace like France, they say, Where's Charlie? But basically, it's a picture where you can find that you try and look for that particular person in there. So we'll do the same thing with Snoopy here. We'll put in places. So keep an eye out and just let us know when you see it, what time, and jot it down. I'm going to sneak them around. So isn't that a great idea? I thought that'd be a lot of fun. And he might pop up in multiple times during an episode. So let me know if you see him now and then, and at what time. I think that's a great idea, Joe. Okay, first up for today's episode, I want to talk about a couple things that I thought was pretty interesting. I was on my poor man's flea market, which I really enjoy, the walks at night looking into trash and whatnot. And this week was really good because the weather's nice. People are cleaning out, and always on the recycle days are better. A couple people threw out, look at this one guy threw out a lawnmower, and I said, this is a nice guy. I don't know the guy, but first of all, the lawnmower was nice, but he wrapped up the blade so that the nobody would get cut, the sanitation. I said, that's a real gentleman, or a woman, I don't know who threw it out, but whoever did, I said, that's kudos to that person for taking the time to protect people that might pick it up or something and not get cut. I thought that was interesting. I also found this fan. Look at this fan. And what was so funny about it, the fan was good. I could have took it. I could have fixed it. It's somebody cut the cord off. That guy, my nemesis, he got to it before me, cut the cord off. But I could have fixed that fan. But, like I said, I like the older ones. But interesting, right? Another thing I saw was this beautiful snowblower. My father told me years ago, when you're looking for junk, good junk, if it's thrown out of season, it most likely works. And that's so true. If you find a snowblower in the summertime or you find a lawnmower in the wintertime, guaranteed they work, but people are cleaning out, they don't have the room or whatever, and that's just the case with, this thing looked brand new. Looking at the blades, it was like brand new. So But obviously, I didn't take any of that. But what I did find was something I think you might find interesting. And this is what we found that we brought home. Now, I actually have one of these upstairs, but you can never have too many of these. And if you know, first of all, if you know what it is, you knew exactly right away what it is. For some of you old timers, you're dating yourself now. Some other people are saying, I have no idea what it is. Let me clean it up a little bit and show you what it is. Okay, here we are all cleaned up, and you see what this is. This is a Radiant Meteor projection screen. Now, years ago, if you would either hang a sheet on the wall, or sometimes if you had a white wall, just show your slides and your home movies, things like that. But if you were professional, we all had some uncle or something that was a professional and had one of these portable screens. How this worked is it was, again, a portable, lightweight. This would open up, and then you would place this where you can lift up and have a portable screen. Now, what made this so interesting is the type of screen this was. And let me show you. How this worked is once you set it up, you would raise this part here, raise this up to whatever height you wanted, and then bring the screen up and hook it on just by pulling the screen up and place it right onto that clip. And now what you had, and this was a glass bead screen, a specially textured screen that would really reflect what you were watching. You could see here it's almost reflective, and that's what you wanted. They called it a glass bead, and let me see if I can get a little reflection going, and this would make your slides and really pop out. When I refer to slides, I'm talking about the type of film we used to use back in the day. 35 millimeter was a strip of film that you would load into a camera, and they could make slides out of them. And slides would look like this when you got them back from the drugstore. And basically, what you had was an image here. That's the actual negative, but it was a positive, more or less. Negative is a reverse image, and the positive is just you put light behind it, and you can see what that is. Now, everybody, I'm sure a lot of you old-timers have a box sitting around, or used to have a box of slides and all your memories and everything in there. And we would pull and I would do it. I would carry this tradition on around the 4th of July. I would always have a barbecue and bring the family over. But you can see here, this one here is a New York World's Fair slides. They had all different types, you know, what you would take. You could view it in different ways. They had these portable viewers that, look at this, the old style Bakelite type. And you could open this up with, they had batteries that you would put in here. And it's been a while since I've opened this, obviously. But you could put it like this here. You put your slide into the top here, and there was a little button that you would push with batteries, and it would illuminate the rear, and you could check it out that way. But the way we used to like to look at them was basically with a projector. In the late 50s and 60s, they had all kinds of projectors. They even came out towards the end with the carousel type projectors and whatever. But this was my dad's favorite type of projector. And what this was a very simple projector. And what you see is you would put your slide in here, and you would turn this around like this, and it would shoot onto the screen and view it. And you guys can smell it. I'm telling you, you could smell the kind of ozone, because, you know, there was always that bulb got super hot, and there was a fan going, and it was quiet when you were sitting around looking at the slides on the wall or a sheet or something, and you would smell the heat of the bulb, and you would hear that fan going on. And let me show you what it's like. Now, when you plugged it in, you had the telltale hum of the fans. The fans that in here, they were a little bit on the noisy side, but they would be on as soon as you plugged it in. The fan would stay on, and then when you turned on the bulb, which was a high intensity bulb, it would light up and shoot light through here, and then you would have it set up. Now, obviously, the closer you are, the smaller the picture will be on here, but it used to get big. And what you would do is you would turn this like this whenever you would take a slide, put in here, turn it, and while people were viewing that slide, you would change out and put another one in, and then turn it, and that's how you would get. And this is what it would look like on the wall as we were watching the slideshow. You would see this, and then all of a sudden You'd see this and you talk about it for a minute while the person who you would flip and put another slide in and again switch it. So it was a lot of fun, and I'm sure you all have old memories of it, of these back in the day. Back in 1970, I guess we received our communion, and look at how pretty everybody looked. And you know, you go back in time, you look at these photographs and you say, look at me. I look like kind of a hitman, didn't I, right there? My hair was all kind of greased. Let me get the focus in. Hair was all greased up, right? The good days. 1970. And I still remember these guys. I still remember their names, some of them. Isn't that something? And we were all happy. We all had high expectations. Not so much there. But we did have high expectations back in the day. How about this? How about the way we used to dress? Let me focus this in here. Here we go. How about the way we used to dress, huh? It's my sister and myself. I think I still have that coat. I think it still fits. So there we have our vintage Radiant Meteor screen, portable screen. Nice find. I've seen dozens of these and passed them by, but I just thought I would take this. I thought it'd be fun to take a trip down memory lane. So I encourage you, if you have some slides, pull them out within the next couple weeks and have a little slideshow. I know you haven't done it in a while. I hope maybe this puts a little flame under your butt to get it done, and it's a lot of fun. And looking back at that, back in my communion days, back in 1970, I look and I say, you know, I believed in miracles back then, and then you lose faith a little bit, but I'll tell you, I believe in them again, and I'll show you how true they are. I was mowing the lawn this morning, and I looked out in my backyard, and look what I see. Lo and behold, by my recently acquired Jesus statue from Brian O'Hare, I see these flowers. These flowers have never bloomed in my yard before. There are no other flowers like this on my property, and only by the Jesus statue. Is it a miracle? I'm calling it yes. I say it is. Interesting, right? Okay, next up, at the dollar table. The dollar table is my ruination. I'll tell you about that on Monday, but look at this. I found this nice little box. It's got a wood inside here. I don't know what was in here, but it looks to be, I don't know, that's silver plate, sterling silver. Let me get a magnet. Here is my magnet. You could see it's non-magnetic, except for the hinge. The hinge might be magnet. Yeah, see, the hinge is a little magnetic, but nothing else is magnetic. So it's probably sterling silver or silver of some sort. Let's see if we can't clean it up. If we can't get this off, silver's always a pain. It always tarnishes. Let's see if we can clean this up real quick. Okay, now what we did is we did a little test spot underneath with a little polish, and you can see here brought up some copper, which means it's probably plated, a thin plating of silver maybe that was on there. I doubt the box is made of copper because it would be, as thin as it would be very fragile and would dent easy, so I still don't know what it is. Use this peak polish here. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to try and strip all this off with a wire brush, and then we'll deal with it from there. But I want to get this finish off of here. Now, we were successful with the wire brush removing all the old finish, but now it looks kind of cheesy and too shiny. So now we got to give it an antique look. You know, we want it to almost look like a pewter or an older type metal. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the fiber wheel, then the buffing wheel, and then polish again and mix it up. Now, you know my favorite part. Remember what this antique box looked like before we started. I'm calling this project done. I have no idea what kind of metal this is. You can see here some of the copper highlights around. I don't know if I like it. It brought out all the details. It says here, you can see Hall of Science and Tower on the Water. So maybe there was a World's Fair somewhere. The box is made in Japan. It says made in Japan on it. I just wish I knew what kind of material it was. It was triple plated with, you know, all different materials. But here you could see it's a interesting little, my girlfriend thinks it's a snuff box. Remember snuff boxes? If you do, you're way older than the rest of us, because that was around in like the 1700s, right? Okay, we were all over the place today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you have a great day. Hope you enjoy your weekend. Take care now. Bye-bye. One last thing, I just got back from the poor man's flea market tonight, and look what I found 3/4 of a mile from my house. I couldn't pass this by. I threw it over my shoulder and walked this home. This thing, I thought it was a grandfather clock at first, but you could see here, it's electric. Look at the font on those numbers, and you could see here electric, the way it's written. It looks like it's probably in the 40s, I would say. And just an absolutely beautiful clock with shelving. I couldn't pass this by. What do you think? Would you have left it or took it?